essential oil class today. We're gonna keep it short and simple, and then we'll facilitate questions at the end of the class. If you don't know anyone here, and if you want to add your IG handle next to your name, that way we can contact you later and maybe answer some questions personally, or you can contact us. That would be very helpful. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I think Ilaria is going to share a few slides. In today's presentation, we're going to talk about what are essential oils, why we use essential oils, how to use essential oils, and a few things that we want to keep in mind when we use essential oils. We're also going to talk about what our C2CL promise is and why that makes Young Living oils different from other oils out there. And like I mentioned, we'll facilitate questions at the end of our class today. So we're going to go ahead, the host of the class today, we're going to share a couple of introductions. My name is Abby, and I have been using Young Living essential oils a little bit over 3 years now. The reason why I started using essential oils was because I wanted to offer my son, he goes to public school, more immune support, or a natural way to boost his immune system, because he was coming home sick pretty often. So I wanted to boost his immune system. I got into using essential oils before using Young Living products, and I've tried other brands. But when I decided to kind of take a look at Young Living oils, I was able to compare. And I realized, that it was just a much better brand, the quality, and my family, we really enjoyed using them. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about essential oils and why we use them. And that's pretty much my story. I think Ilaria has her story also.
Yes, so similar to yours story, but so I started to use essential oils 4 years ago from Young Living, but I've always used natural remedies. My mom raised me with homeopathic remedies, and then when I started dating the guy that became my husband, my future mother-in-law introduced me to essential oils and aromatherapy, and I really liked those oils, but they weren't Young Living. I liked the concept of aromatherapy. And then when we got married, after 4 months, we moved to Canada, and we've been there for about 9 years. And in all those years, for about 6 years, I've tried to find essential oils that really worked for our health, because I've always enjoyed, I've always liked the idea of having natural remedies to help and support our bodies. But only after I got pregnant in 2016 and had my baby in 2017, I really started to look for essential oils that were really pure and that could be used with babies and were safe to use with anybody, and on babies as well. And that's when I found Crystal, essentially one on Instagram, that she had a baby. Our kids are likely they have more or less the same age, and I saw her using those oils on her baby, and so I was surprised and I was interested and fascinated by that. So I started my journey in that time. So this year will be 4 years that I've been using essential oils, and as Abby was saying, I've tried other brands in the past, but after I tried the Young Living oils, I really saw the results that I wanted. So I saw my sleep improve and also my energy levels improve. And that's why I stick with them. So next, I think it's Jenni.
Yep, I'm Jenni. So I've been using Young Living products for about a year now. And I like it for a lot of reasons, but I'm just going to focus on one. Is basically I can trust the ingredients. It's always been a goal of mine to be healthier. But recently, when my mom passed away with cancer, ever since then, I've been more aware of the ingredients that I put on my body, that I have in my home around my family. So Young Living makes it easier for me because I can trust what they put in their things, and that I know that's going to be healthy and not do any harm for myself or for my families or for kids or for even animals. So I trust that I'm using the best ingredients in their products that are clean and simple like that.
Okay.
I
Shelley,
think
go
I'm
ahead.
next. Yeah. Hi, my name is Shelley. I've been using natural products, especially cleaning and my own skincare products for several years. But I started using Young Living about 8 months ago. I've been following some on Instagram who use Young Living and the different oil blends that they used and the knowledge that they had about them. It made me really curious. So I ordered a starter bundle and that's where it all started.
Hi, my name is Justine and I am from Northern Canada. And why I started, I wanted to start having a more natural lifestyle with my products because I've always suffered from allergies and eczema. And so I wanted to find more natural remedies. And I had smelled a few essential oils from different companies and I actually reacted to them like an allergic reaction. So I knew that wasn't good. And so once I smelled and tried Young Living oils, I was like, wow, I'm not reacting to these. These smell amazing. Like, I'm so happy. And so I found that using them has really helped with my allergies and my skin. And yeah, that's how I kind of started.
Thank you, girls. Thanks for your introductions. So what are essential oils? Essential oils are compounds extracted from plants, and these compounds, they have therapeutic properties. So the oil is concentrated in different parts of the plant life. It could be in the leaves and the branches, the flowers and the bark. And so they are extracted from the plant by a variety of means. It can be different ways, but depending on the particular species of the plant. But the most common ways are by steam distillation or cold press. And their chemistry is very complex and unique. On average, an essential oil contains, hundreds of thousands of components. And due to their small molecular size, it's easy for our bodies to absorb them in an easy and very quickly. It could take about 20 seconds. And so the components in these essential oils, they fall into broader groups. We can break, an example of those groups or those categories are oxygenates and terpenes. Oxygenates tend to have stronger and a longer lasting aroma than terpenes. And terpenes have many properties, but they disperse faster in the air. And it's something very interesting about essential oils is like oxygenates, they increase our oxygen saturation. So certain oils have that ability, like peppermint and tea tree oil. They can actually, they have molecules that are oxygen. So I think that's super fascinating about essential oils. And that's pretty much it. So that's what essential oils are.
So now we'll see why we should use why we should use essential oils. So this is not something that is new for us humans. They actually have been used and loved for centuries, for thousands of years. In fact, we can find uses of essential oils in the Bible, in the very first books of the Bible, but also in Mesopotamia, in Egypt. So it goes back in time, and they've been used to improve health, and it can also be seen as an ally for our body, face care, but also for our mental and emotional health. So they can really help us feel much better. There are a lot of studies that have been done over the years that demonstrates and confirm how aromas have a strong impact on our mind. You can go on PubMed.com and you will find a lot of resources about it. Essential oils is I've just said, it's not something that it's just started. It's not something that it's now, but maybe in 10 years will be gone. It's been here like for centuries, for thousands of years. And what we can do now, because in the past like 20, 30 years, essential oils have been used a lot in the perfume and personal care industry, but it's not just for that reason that we can use essential oils. We will see how the other reasons that why we can use them, why we should use them, and how we can do that. So here there are just few examples of the benefits that we can have using pure essential oils. So they can lock emotional trauma. They can calm emotion through the limbic system. We'll explain what is it if you don't know what is it. They can cross the blood-brain barrier. So it means that whenever we breathe in, the body recognize that the thing that we're breathing, we're inhaling, and it goes right through the brain. Doesn't have to wait for like protection systems in our body to say what is it, what is not. It goes right to the brain, and it'll help us understand what is going on, and it also affects our emotions. It can help cellular renewal. It can act in the body in a few minutes. It relaxes our mind, and it helps us have clarity. It helps purify and detoxify the system. It purifies the air, making it breathable, or just, eliminating bad odors around the house. And they do a lot more things for our body and for people around us. Now we're going to see how to use essential oils, and it's going to be Jenni.
Yeah, so we're going to focus on 3 easy ways on how to use essential oils. Of course, there's many other ways that we can use them, but we're just going to focus on the top 3, which are aromatic, application, and internal. So we're going to start off with the aromatic. So with the aromatic, how to use it. So you grab your essential oil and you put a few drops into the diffuser. Make sure your diffuser has water, and then you turn it on, and then the mist will come out. So using a diffuser is the easiest way, so you can use your oils and you receive many benefits on a physical, a mental level, as well as an emotional level. So, and they also have a very pleasant scent in the air. So you can think of it as a healthy air freshener. So your house will smell good, and it's also good for you. So it's a double win. The second way you can use the aromatic is just simply opening your essential oil bottle, and then just take a deep breath in. This is great to use when you need to calm down a little bit, or if you have a case of nausea, a headache, anything similar to that. This one I actually do a lot, because if anyone knows me, I get very car sick and very motion sickness. So I always have a peppermint oil with me, and I just take the top off, and then I just breathe it in, and it makes me feel better. So the last one about how you can use the oil aromatic is you just put a couple drops in the palm of your hands, and then you inhale deeply like this. And then I like to personally rub my palms together. And then this method helps a lot to give a calm and clarity to the mental level, and to also calm your emotions. So I feel like this technique is great before bed, especially if you're using sleep support oils. Because if you make, it's called like a scent tent with your palms, and you rub the oils together and you breathe, you breathe in all that calmness to help you maybe doze off to a sleep. When we inhale directly, this affects our limbic system, which is responsible for emotions, behavior, sense of smell, and so much more. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a future slide. But once these aromas reach the centers, the response is coded, and then information is sent to a higher conscience of the brain where emotions are processed. So this is a reason why I feel like it's perfect time to use it before bed, because maybe we're having a really busy day, a hectic day, and we just want to like relax and clear our heads. So doing this technique is one way to get the benefits of aromatically using your oils.
And another way to use essential oils is topically, applying the oil directly on you. There's a term that I've learned, and that's neat, using your oils neat. That means directly on the skin without diluting. There are a lot of very gentle oils, for example, lavender. And you may reach to apply them neat to a certain area, like the bottom of your feet, the back of your neck, your chest, wherever that might be. You would just put a drop on your hand directly and apply it to the area that you're wanting. It would go directly there. Now, some oils are called hot oils. Oils like clove or peppermint, you'll feel like a warming sensation on your skin when you use them. Or it could be blends that have these oils in them, like thieves or Panaway. And Panaway is actually one of my favorite blends. My husband and my two sons, their secular work is very physical, and they always come home with sore muscles, and Panaway is really good for soothing sore muscles. So since it contains hot oils, we dilute it. What does that mean? We use a carrier oil like jojoba oil, almond oil. I've been using grapeseed oil for years for my skin, and it's a really good carrier. Young Living has a great carrier oil called V6. It's a vegetable carrier oil. So you can actually dilute it in your hand if you want. You would put 1 drop in your hand, 1 drop of a carrier oil, mix it up and apply it where you want it. So if you're using Panaway to a sore muscle, but you could also make a roller bottle. It's another way to do it. This is our Panaway roller bottle all ready to go. You would fill it with a carrier oil, then the essential oil of your choice, then put it on the area where you're needing. This Panaway would go on a sore muscle area. Third way is massage, to use topically. With this, a carrier oil might be at a higher ratio than with a soothing essential oil added in. This is something very therapeutic. It can help mentally, emotionally, physically. It's also very soothing for children. So this is like very quickly some ways you can apply essential oils topically, and Justine has the next ways to use oils.
Hi, yes. So the third way you can use essential oils is internally. So you want to make sure that you can use the right oils internally. So we have in Young Living, we have these white labeled bottles that you can take internally. So this one is lime. So this is the regular lime, this is the white one. So this is one you can take. It's the plus line in Canada. And I think in Europe, is it also plus or vitality? Yeah, in the US it's vitality. And so there's a few ways that you can take essential oils internally for ailments or for the flavors. One way is you can have it in your water. So you can just add a drop of it to your water, or if you wanted to have just not quite as much flavor with a drop, you can use a toothpick. You can just stick that in there and then swirl that around in your water or your juice or honey, whatever you like to put it in. And the other way you can have it internally is through a veggie capsule. So I just got these from Amazon. They are, I think, gluten-free and organic and all of that. So you just have a little capsule like this. So you just open it and you add your drop of oil. And this is a really good way if you want to help your digestion. So one way is you can have peppermint in here. And so I'll just add a couple drops of that. And then usually I top it off with some liquid coconut oil. So you can do that. And then usually just very carefully pour the coconut oil in. And then it usually just like clicks close, and then you can take that internally. So yeah, that's how you can do that. And then the next slide, I'll also be talking about essential oils and emotions. So when we inhale, nerve receptors send signals to our brain, and it's a part of the brain called the limbic system. So this region of our brain creates and manages emotions and memories. So I know this has happened to me. When you smell a certain smell, it may bring you back to your childhood. Like, for example, your mom's cooking, you know, you remember certain memories that way. And so smell has a huge impact on our life. So that means that we can taste things that'll bring emotions or smell certain things and it can uplift us. So many oils have very calming properties and can also help reset our emotions and our moods. So I know for myself, I love the citrus fresh oil or orange oil that always like uplifts my mood. But we just want to make sure that if there is something that we need more help with, like we should always consult our doctor.
Yeah, so that brings us to our next topic about using oils, essential oils safely. So it's very important that we make sure that we do our own research when we use essential oils. We want to do our research because we want to make sure that we benefit from that. So dilution rates and how you can use the oil is very important. We also want to make sure that we, sometimes when we go onto the internet and we search, there's so much information. So you want to use the appropriate resources. Young Living is a really good resource. They actually have, when you look up an oil, that'll give you a lot of information on the oil and how you can use that oil safely. You can also look at the bottle. They will indicate if it's an oil that you can use topically, aromatically, or if you can use it internally. It'll also give you some information as to if it needs to be diluted or not. So it's very important that we just do our own research and use the correct sources of information.
So now we'll see also something to keep in mind about it. So sometimes even just the scent of an essential oil can tell us a lot. So they have to be real pure essential oils. They need to smell just like the plant. For example, rosemary, just like rosemary, or lavender, real lavender, nothing less or nothing more. So if it smells like a perfume, like there's something too sweet in that rosemary oil, maybe it's not just rosemary. In fact, often companies add like artificial vanilla or other scents to make it sweeter and more pleasant, because some oils can really, because they smell just like the plant, like if you're rubbing your finger on the plant, they may not smell like the greatest, but that's what makes them pure and real essential oil. So if you ask yourself how your essential oil smell, like a plant or like a dessert, a cookie, and it doesn't matter if on the label you read 100% pure, because they may have some things added in it, and not just artificial scent, but also like other ingredients to make them last longer, and it can affect the purity and the therapeutic grade of the essential oil. So you want to have just the best kind of essential oil, and this will be shared in the other slide that I think is Jenny going to share.
Yes. So for an example, the Cypress essential oil. So Cypress comes from the trees, just like you see in the picture, has a woodsy, fresh smell. So Cypress essential oil has 280 chemical constituents. In case you're not too familiar with that word, it's the serving of the form, what composes of something. So what makes it up as a whole or a unit. You can think of all the parts and pieces. So all of the parts and pieces that that make the cypress oil, it needs to be distilled for a full 24 hours in order to contain all of those 280 elements. So if it's distilled for only 20 hours, only 20 of the 280 constituents are obtained. And if you distill it for 26 hours, then you'll get 0. So it cannot be more or less. It has to be precise of the 24 hours. And then cypress is a wonderful plant with many properties, but to make it effective, you need to benefit from all of the 280 elements that compose of the cypress oil. And so Young Living makes sure to the last drop that the plants are grown and distilled to perfection. So, we buy these oils with our money, we have it in our homes, with our animals, with our pets. We want to make sure that we're getting the full benefits and they're not going to do us harm. So, how do we know that we're going to get these benefits? Young Living has a seed to seal promise, and Shelley's going to talk to us about that.
Yes, seed to seal. It's a quality commitment, and it's supported by 3 pillars: sourcing, science, and standards. First, sourcing. Young Living gets their products from carefully vetted farms and tests them extensively. The tests show that a product doesn't meet the standards, they don't buy it if it's from one of their partner farms, or they reject the batch if it's from one of their 6 farms. The second pillar is science. There is a trained scientific staff that use cutting edge methods to both develop new products and ensure the quality of existing products. And the third pillar is standards. These top standards include sustainably sourcing plants, helping local communities, and complying with environmental and other laws. And this is actually a subject that my family and I have been talking about lately, a lot about farming practices and what big corporate farming has done to our food, the nutrients in our food, then to our gut health, also what it's done to the soil and the earth. So some of these things that are listed here on this slide are very important to me, like 0 pesticides, hand picking weeds, continuous checks of water and soil. Knowing that about the things that I'm going to put on my body, I'm going to put in my body, I'm going to use to clean around me, it's very important to me. And on the Young Living website, there's a whole seed to seal section that goes into a lot more detail if you would like to read more about it.
And how you can start is one of the first steps you can do is you can get your own starter bundle. This is how it looks. It comes in this great box, and you get 12 oils, and you also get a diffuser, and it comes with 2 Ningxia Red samples, which is like the best antioxidant juice there is, I think, anyway. And you get accessories. So if you want more information, you could talk to the person that invited you. And also when you do sign up and you get your starter kit, you also get 24% discount on all of the other products that Young Living also sells. And yeah, just no obligation. Yeah, that's all.
So that wraps up our essential oils class. Does anyone have any questions that we can answer today? All right, so like Justine mentioned, if you are interested in more information, let us know if you were one of our guests. If not, we can go ahead and send us a message to the chat, and we can contact you personally and answer your questions.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes, thanks for seeing everyone today.
Yes. You too, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a
Bye.
good
Thank
weekend.
you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Bye.
weekend.